Hello, I'm at Ernestine and Hazel's, the coolest bar in Memphis, Tennessee that was once a former brothel. I have never played here, so this is as close as I get. Today's topic... Yeah, I'm going there. The question people have debated for centuries in dorm rooms, in pubs just like this one, late at night with illicit substances. It's a thought experiment more than anything. It's a circular, frustrating discussion. Well, I have an answer for you. At least I'd like to try it. But there are a few factors to consider before we can attempt a definition. Since the beginning of time, if you make a rule, someone always messes with it. In the Middle Ages, note intervals, the relationship between two notes, were determined by physics, the overtone series, and of course God. The simplest thing in the world. I play this string, you hear the string. Okay, I can stop the string at different points. And every note in relation to this first pitch is an interval. That's a fourth, 5, 1, octave. But you notice, if I try to block the strings, you don't hear anything. You're like, duh, right, but there are resonant frequencies. So if you ever hear in rock music where some guy's doing this, there are certain notes that play as the original note is playing, and the strongest ones are the fourth, the fifth, and the octave. But not other ones. But fourth, fifth, octave. So those are called the perfect intervals. And so if you have an interval of a fourth, it sounds like that. Interval of a fifth, which is the greatest interval. Most rock and roll and power chords and everything else, blues, comes from the interval of the fifth, first to 5. But there was one that they tried to avoid, which was the halfway between the perfect fourth and the perfect fifth, called the tritone, or the diabolus in musica, the devil in music. And so if you go, this is a fifth, it's exactly halfway between the two, fifth and a fourth, fourth. Okay, and if I just slide this down, you've got the tritone. It's an unsettling chord, it's weird sounding. Oh great, I've summoned hell. Give me a minute. I'm back. Turns out all he wanted was a guitar. Devil music aside, Western composers made a whole system that took hundreds of years based on these intervallic relationships, along with keys, harmonies, and rhythm. It worked. It sounded good. It was a good system. Anything else sounds stupid. Listen to this piece that is titled A Musical Joke by none other than Mozart. Ha ha ha, it sounded awful and not in tune at the end, get it? But he was writing in the 18th century. But then here comes the 20th century with their cars and telephones and electricity. Popular music from America is starting what would be a total takeover of the musical world with the new jazz and blues.
These women going crazy every day of their life. Will you kill a man? Yes, I will. Dead by the...
And it was genuinely awesome. But while this was going on, the high society musicians are starting to break the rules of tonality itself, ignoring the basic rules of intervals, harmony, and basic decency. That wasn't really a joke either. In the opera Salome, written by Richard Strauss, famous for this little well-known tune, that guy wrote an opera about Salome, King Herod's daughter, who is famous in the Bible for asking for the head of John the Baptist on her birthday. And she seems really happy about it. There's also incest on top of necrophilia, and this music just seems to reflect all of it. American Charles Ives, not celebrated in his own time, wrote poorly attended music because he was filthy rich for being one of the guys that created modern life insurance. He created what was eventually called bitonal, or music in two simultaneous keys, among other things. Russian composer Igor Stravinsky in 1913 premiered the famous ballet The Rite of Spring. But all of this was tame compared to the post-World War I serialists of Germans Schoenberg, Webern, and Berg, for music that was so dissonant and completely different than what many people think is music. I'll pause here and mention that in approaching this subject, I asked my father his opinion on it. He told me music is organized sound. Now that's a great point, but atonal, bitonal, multitonal music did follow established rules, just ones they invented themselves, and those rules can be very specific, and talking about them will exceed the scope of this video. Like it or not, this avant-garde music is considered a staple of 20th century music, and this isn't even debated anymore. There are many people today that are drawn to this style and enthusiastically purchase tickets for it. In non-classical music, in the popular entertainment world, you have a few examples as well.
2, 3, 4.
So to my friend Will in South Carolina, there really might be people who want to hear you play drums. Oh, this isn't even pleasant to listen to. It's annoying, it's unsettling. It makes me angry, I hate it. But does it mean music needs to make you happy to be considered music? No. Is it music if it's designed to make you mad or annoyed? It can be used as torture, to drive away teenagers and the homeless from businesses. In 1996, scientists at the University of Hilarious Research polled 500 people about their likes and dislikes in music. Among the dislikes, well, this piece features banjo, accordions, cowboy music, opera, rapping, children's choirs, and Walmart. It's called The Most Unwanted Song. It's great.
See the desert, there's something inside says, yo, this is the line. Give me open line and a big old knife to get some thrill into the stick. I like me a fire through the shake and break. I say, yo, I'm a cowboy now.
Hey everybody, it's Christmas time! Christmas time, Christmas time, Jesus Mary and the Manger. Christmas time, that'll be time to do all your shopping at Walmart!
Fine. So maybe music is a type of sound that elicits a feeling in the listener anywhere from happiness to revulsion. So that just leaves us with noise, right? I mean, while we're at it, what if you walked into this? It's the longest organ music concert in the world. John Cage's As Slow as Possible will be played for the next 639 years in the St. Burkhardi Church in Halberstadt in Saxony-Anhalt, Germany. I hope I got that right, because I'm not doing it again. Here's what it would sound like if you were a tree or something that could live that long. But now we reach the grandfather of this debate. What about this piece by John Cage? Even this follows a strict organized system to be monitored by stopwatch, including multiple movements, to ensure that the performance time is exactly 4 minutes and 33 seconds. The idea here is that music is sound around us at all times. This one usually causes people to draw the line. Either everything on earth is somehow music or nothing is. Well, I promised you an answer and here it is, but it's very safe. Music is something that facilitates an emotional response. That is the line I draw. If I don't hear it, if I don't have a reaction to it, I don't care about it. Then it isn't music at that time, but it could be. Normally I don't care if I hear the drone of an air conditioner, but it sure does sound like music to me when it turns on after a power outage on a hot day. So yeah, the answer is a messy one. I'll just defer to Supreme Court Justice Potter Stewart in 1964 on the definition of porn versus art. I know it when I see it. You're a different person than me and experience music in your own way. Your definition of music should reflect that. Anyway, I'm just going to leave this here. Until next time.
It's a beautiful noise going on everywhere, like the clickety-clack of a train on the track. It's got rhythm to spare. Well, it's a beautiful noise sound that I love, and it fits me as well as a hand in a glove. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. What a beautiful noise coming up from the park. It's the song of the kids, and it plays until dark. And it's the song of the cars on their furious flights. And there's even romance in the way that they dance to the beat of the lights. But it's a beautiful noise, and it's a sound that I love.